Stormgame. Hello everyone, we're watching a Celestial player called Tassadar. I haven't casted or watched any of his games yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays. MSRM said he takes inspiration from him because he likes to go vectors. Said he's now vector pilled, and here's Korean Bob. A family favorite, a family name, household name right now. Coming up and cooking up all sorts of different styles and builds. He was the one to do the flak cannon 2 base all in stuff against High in the other video that I made, so looking forward to seeing how he plays this matchup. Looks like he's going for hedgehogs this time, not going for his flak cannon goodness. 3 guys on gas, overcharge after the 11th worker. Very standard at this point. We've got some margins coming up for Tassadar. Can't tell if he's selling the racks in the replay, unfortunately, but we'll see in a second. Looks like he's keeping it, which means he'll make his mech bay, sending... that was a strange maneuver. He sent his gas workers to his Luminite, but then the guys building this to his gas. So could have just sent the ones building that back to Luminite and kept the ones on Therium, but there it is. So first hedgehog's coming out, and then we need to build the habitat because we are supply blocked. There is a Bob, a worker, servo, desperate to get out of this command post. Or maybe not. Looks like saving the money for the next hedgehog. So we've kind of cut workers here. We've got enough gas for one more hedgehog. And we have, yeah, like MSRM said, this guy likes his vectors. He's not going for an expansion. He's just going for vectors on his side of the map. MSRM exclusively builds the Starforge and Therium Purifier on your side of the map, but this guy is doing a defensive thing. Defending 1 base hogs with Vector, Argent. Now putting 7 guys on gas. Where is this going to go? A lot of guys on gas, so maybe a fast Vulcan or a fast Medtech for the Nanoswarm. He has scouted, I imagine. Let's just check. Yeah, he scouted the Starforge with the Dog Howl, and he wants, I imagine he wants Nanoswarm. So you'll need a Biolab, and then the upgrade, and then a Medtech, and then you'll be able to cast, and then wait a bit, and then you'll be able to cast a Nanoswarm. So it's not coming in soon. Oh, Morph Core and Vector able to snipe down a Hedgehog. Heck. Run. So pretty clean defense there. Able to take a Hedgehog, and we're on 1 base economies, both players, so even 1 Hedgehog is a big deal. Rushing out a sentry post at the top of the ramp. It's now Bob that is on the back foot, worried about aggression from his opponent. And a ray has been afforded, so managing to actually expand behind this. We do need the power bank, so we can build this normally, and now we're fine. So we're kind of scuttled back to our main, saving up resources. There it is, so tier 2 and Vulcan. So Vulcans shred vectors, but vectors are considerably faster. Vulcans have a move speed of 4. Vectors have 50% more than that and can blink, so there's no necessity to fight Vulcans as the vector player. That's up to you.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Scouting that there is an array here, and we do have the early dogs, so 2 howls, and you can probably take this array down from the low ground. Looks like we're going for the full scout here, seeing what's going up, but I feel like seeing the array is already enough. You've already seen everything you need to know. There's no way he's got anything more than just an array and a Starforge. But still getting a full scout here, keeping the dog alive, very nice. 3 Argents and a Vector whittling down the first Stormgate. Yeah, no real hope of contesting the Stormgate with a Vulcan as your main centerpiece for your army. Looks like we're going into Biolab. We'll get that Nanoswarm upgrade. Just have to wait for the Luminite. And 2 more racks. Probably upgrade this into a solar habitat to boost the production. What did we get? We got a Soul Forge. So copying vectors, copying Argents. Big Brain copying a Morph Core. We'll see what we end up with. Yeah, the big problem for Celestials is the low ground to high ground array snipe. We've got the very fun Jellyfish Scout. 100 resources this costs, so not the end of the game to lose it. Kind of like floating in an Overlord. Gets a full scout on the opponent's army there. Korean Bob not trying to hide anything. Let's his opponent see that it's Medtech and 1 Vulcan. And we'll see what happens here on the low ground. We have a 3rd array going up as well, so 1 base Vanguard coming up to 3 base Celestial. Of course, there aren't any prisms or anything yet, but they will be there once that finishes probably. Okay, Vector's off to the side there. Interesting. Looking for a cool angle, I guess. The dogs will see this. He can see this. The medics are just running up. Immediately 3, 4 now Nano Swarms. All Vectors going down to Nano Swarms. Without really losing anything. I think we lost a dog there. Vulcan coming in. But we don't, Sovereign's Watch went down. We don't really have more Nano Swarms for the moment. So ideally we can get out of this situation and get some more energy up. Yeah, real shame to lose the dog. I mean, actually we could still come here. This strike node shooting down will provide us vision to shoot the array. So I would probably be already trying to kill that array. And forcing the opponent to leave his strike node and walk over here and take a fight. We shall see. Looks like we're actually just going to cut through the trees here. Did get a natural up behind us with Ethereum workers, so that's nice. Still have plenty of gas mining. Tassadar actually has 800 Ethereum almost. And we're jumping on this array, which is very nice. But there's 1 strike node, and he doesn't really have any damage other than the Nano Swarms, which can't obviously target buildings. We kind of cornered ourselves in the opponent's main here, casting some nice Nano Swarm. That one in the middle there. That one runs out. Very nice.
Stormgate has appeared.
Vulcan went down there. And yeah, we just don't have many more Nano Swarms left. And once the Nano Swarms are like out of the picture, this army is not very scary, right? Medtech's not doing that much damage. But still, yeah, I mean, doing decently here. Just we are in our opponent's main right now, you know, so like his production's getting here, ours is walking across the map. Kind of an awkward situation we found ourselves in. Probably another Sovereign's Watch that will be available soon. Should just gun down these prisms, yeah. Celestial player was kind of patient, got some more units up and is now going to kind of trounce and take a good trade here. Okay, so we did our attack there, and it was kind of okay at the start. It would have been nice to be able to get out of that situation. Going into triple mech bay now. Making 3 hogs at a time, and there's the patented Korean Bob dog upgrade. He seems to like trying out these dogs. He's got a machine lab on the way. I wonder if that's for tier 3, for the tier 3 dog upgrade, or if it's for a hedgehog upgrade. Yeah, there it is. Getting a 3rd base up as well. Celestial's getting up his 4th. Stormgate spawning on his side of the map. He barely gets it, like 1 second away from not getting it, but does manage to get it. And it's the dog pack, my favorite Stormgate reward right here. It's going to shift click. You can actually jump from this low ground up to this high ground, which is completely undefended. It almost always is completely undefended because this is not an attack path that you expect. Straight into your main from the low ground here. This also happens all the time. 1 dog doesn't quite make it. There's enough space for only 4. Coming in here and absolutely ravaging the worker line here. Do we have an overcharge? Yeah, Bob's not going to be good enough to deal with these. You can see they're just not taking or dealing any damage here. Army comes in and starts to peck at this. Dog's actually turning around and just killing the exos. Do they have the light tag? They do have the light tag, so the dogs do extra damage to them. I mean, the small dogs, not the big dogs. These are void prowlers, these are scouts. So the scout's able to do extra damage to these. These just have a flat 34 damage. But that's high. For Stormgate, that's a high number, 34. They look like an exo, rank 1 exo, doing 13 damage. So yeah, pretty decent damage, 34. It is a slow attack speed, 1.4, but still, like, the DPS on these things is pretty good for how fast they are, and a blink. They're basically like premium vectors. Yeah, Void Prowler's super, super strong. Yeah, no need to take that fight there. You could have just killed the workers, gone back here and blinked. There's almost no chance that the opponent's going to meet you there. And even if they do, you can kind of slither away. And then probably just sit in this health camp and then come back there a minute later. But yeah, we cleaned that up. But you know, it's like we got the Stormgate because it spawned on our side of the map, and then we got all that free damage with the dogs, the Void Prowlers.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Pretty nice. We have 2 Vulcans coming in here. Nano Swarms are available defensively this time. The Vulcans are not going down. The Kree get absolutely melted. And this is nice. It seems like there's a 2 Vulcan minimum before you try and take these Argent Kree fights. And then you can maybe think about it. But there's a lot of Argents. They jump, Heaven Step in, get 1 Vulcan. Vectors in the back applying some extra damage. Kree in the front. It looks like poor Bob has been had. Hedgehog's kind of goofing around. They do like to do that. Something about their AI. Actually kind of turning it around there, but yeah, there's just nothing fast coming. We do have dogs with the upgrade. Hedgehogs have their upgrade as well, but it's a range upgrade, so when they're kind of stood in melee range, it's not a big deal. And yeah, we're going to have to give up the Stormgate again. This is something that probably needs fixing. Beomorph has mentioned it several times. Once the Stormgate appears somewhere, it seems much higher, like it's not always the case, but it seems like most of the time it respawns in the same place. So if the Stormgate just is favored for one player for most of the game, or all of the game, it's quite unfortunate and unfair. Like sometimes the Stormgate needs to go here or here, right? Like it shouldn't always be in the same place. You can see the Kree able to tank very well. Need those Nano Swarms, need those Vulcans to just shred the Kree, otherwise they tank too well against just Hedgehogs. Hedgehog, Dog, Exo is what we're kind of chewing out here. Tries to deny that Stormgate. Looks like, yeah, I don't think the Stormgate will go the way of the Celestial. Yeah, there's no way. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of a win, denying the Stormgate. Hornets are now being added to the mix. Not sure what for exactly. Maybe some harassment at this point in the game. There's a lot of bases, a lot of space for Hornets to try and find an angle for some free damage. They're still very good at killing prisms, of course. Ethereum's still quite abundant in the main and natural there, interesting to see. A blast node and a strike node here too. Yeah, using the Hedgehog mobility advantage to come in and get some damage done, but Kree are also quite fast, able to come in. Tries to get the surround, doesn't quite get it. Slippery old Hedgehogs. And Dog's doing a good job of kind of forcing overkill on all of the Argents. Those Argents are not shooting the Hedgehogs ever. Wasting a lot of damage, overkilling the Dogs, wasting all their power shots, so some value in a few Dogs there for sure. I don't think the upgrade is worth it though. This base gets denied. All the Bobs scuttling away as fast as they can. Trying to get into that nice composition with Hornets. We have 2 Archangels in the production tab for Celestial. Celestial's also rolling into this base, but there's not a base there. Vanguard cannot afford that, and yeah, Tassadar obviously doesn't know how far ahead he is in terms of supply. He's got over 120 supply lead on his opponent.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
And there it is, the Stormgate now going somewhere else at least, not completely favored for the Celestial player, which is nice. There is a big army here, but it's yeah, kind of idling. He's like completely running away from the army of Korean Bob, but he's just got another 100 supply or so, like just chilling. Yeah, and then Korean Bob's like, oh wait, that wasn't your whole army I was chasing? You had a bunch more? Heck. Even a BM Sovereign's Watch cast as the army's running across. Yeah, here's the problem that Vanguard often ends up in, is just, yeah, a bunch of Kree. Wait. Dogs. With the upgrade. Actually looking like they did something there against those Kree. Stormgate looks like it will go the way of the Celestial once again, so you know it's not a great game where every Stormgate goes to the way of your opponent. Korean Bob is doing a really good job of hanging in the game, staying in there. And that's something you do not want to see, the Archangel. Crashing down, hitting almost nothing, but still Lifting him up immediately. He's going to crash down again. No, he doesn't have the energy. 2 more full energy Archangels coming in. I mean, good trades against these Kree. It's just there's so much more where that came from. Hogs doing their absolute best, but this is not an army you can win the game with, and GG is called. Yeah, well played to both players. Some fun moves. It's funny to see Korean Bob try dogs in every matchup, getting the upgrade and everything. It's just something that most players, including myself, have written off, saying this is not part of any matchup really, except for maybe Vanguard Mirror where they tank. But even so, you don't get the upgrade. They're just not the damage dealer you're looking for. But I did see some value there. They kind of did some nice damage to some Kree that was chasing the Hogs. They get across the map quickly. They force all the Argents to waste their shots. Because, you know, once the supply hits like above 50, you don't want to target fire with your Argents. They'll all just end up moving out of position and taking too much damage. So you just A-click them and you're forced to shoot dogs instead of anything useful. But yeah, pretty cool game from Bob. I mean, he started off like one base for a really long time. He managed to make a game of it. But honestly, like the Stormgates going all the way of the Celestial kind of means that the game spirals out of control eventually. But yeah, GG, well played to both players, and like and subscribe.